TV.
Hello everybody, what's going on? Well, Joe the Bull here, welcome to a new series, and we're gonna call this Java coding. Okay, so let's get right into this. Essentially, this is on Windows 7, I got some fancy stuff here, but don't worry, this is still all Windows, and yes, it should work for every other thing too. I'm just letting you know that it's on Windows, and I'm gonna start doing this just with the basics. I'm not a complete pro, so stick with me, but I do know quite a bit, so let's get right into this. So I'm going to go into my Java coding tutorial thing here. I'm just going to close this folder here so no one gets confused. Okay, so we are going to go ahead into our development, and what you'll need to do before you do this is download Eclipse SDK, and every link for every download or anything you need will be in the description, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so you're going to have to download Eclipse, put it into some kind of folder, make your workspace. It'll give you a chance to do that, and now we're just going to go ahead and run Eclipse here, and that is the file. And as you can see, we've set our workspace, and I'm just going to say use this as our default, and I've just made a completely new workbench for you guys. I have a separate one, but we are just going to start fresh on this one, and that should be awesome. Okay, so what you're going to want to do at the beginning is right click here, make a new Java project. And I am gonna go ahead and call this Hello World. Okay, so now we have a plugin called Hello World, and as you can see, you can expand this. You have a lot of stuff in here, and it's cool. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna want to do is right click it, press Properties, Java Build Path, Libraries, Add External Jars. You're going to want to go to wherever you saved latest Bukkit version. So we're going to go ahead and where we saved it. This will be in the description. This is Bukkit. So we're going to go ahead and click that and then click OK. So once you got that in there, what this does, as you can see in our reference libraries, this adds all the stuff from Bukkit. So inventory, permissions, stuff like that. All things that will make our plugin work with Minecraft. So what we're going to want to do first is right click src and make a new package. And what you want to call this is me.joe, or whatever your name is, dot, and then whatever the plugin name is. So we're going to go ahead and call it Hello World. So that's what we're going to call our simple package. So now we're going to go ahead and right click that and make a new class. And we are going to call this main. Just like that, and hit enter. Lots of plugins have different classes and stuff like that, but we are just going to work with one today, and here we go. So we have our first class, our first code. So this is going to be pretty simple. So what we're going to type is extends Java plugin, and what this is going to do is going to make it so our plugin makes it a Java plugin. So we're going to go ahead and hover over that and import Java plugin. So when we're doing this, you're going to see we hover over a lot of things and import them. That just means we're getting them from Bukkit. We're importing them as Minecraft, kind of. Okay, so first thing we have to do is make our public void, I'll explain this in a sec, on enable, enable squiggly bracket. So what, hit enter. So what this means is when we start the plugin, so on our enable of the plugin, we are gonna get logger dot info, and then quotation enabled successfully, exclamation mark. Okay, so what this does is it just makes it so we're going to get the logger, which is the Bukkit server, and we're going to send the info that says enabled successfully, semicolon. You're always going to have to use a semicolon for finishing a statement. That will always be really important. So this is when we enable it, we're going to say enabled successfully. So when your server loads up on the black thing, on the black command prompt, it'll say enabled successfully for your plugin. So now we're going to go ahead and make our public void on disable. And then we're going to go ahead and make our squiggly bracket again. And we're going to write get logger, same as last time pretty much, dot info. So we're sending the info on when we disable it. And we're going to go ahead and say disabled successfully. Just like that. Okay. And then we can go ahead and put a semicolon there just to finish off the statement. That is completely correct. So that will be good. And I'm just putting spaces here to keep them clean. You don't really need all the enters, but I'm just doing that to keep it clean. So now that we've got our beginning of the plugin set up, we're going to go ahead and create our first command. So when you see a lot of plugins, they have different commands when you run things on the chat. So we're going to go ahead, I'll explain this in a sec. Public boolean on command. Oh, sorry. On command like that. Nope, not like that, because I can't type today. On command. Command sender is our sender. Command is our CMD. String is our label. And string array is our args. And you're just going to write that, and I will be right back to explain that. Just give me a second. I apologize about that, everybody. Sorry. And we are back, and we're just going to hit enter a few times just to make our spaces here. And what we're going to do is import command sender and import command. So I'll explain this now. So our public boolean, when we do a command, our command sender is our sender, so we're renaming them. We're not renaming them, but we're giving them a name. So our command sender is called our sender, our command is called our CMD, our string is called our label, and our string array is called our args. So that'll just keep it simple for us, so we give everything a name. Okay, so moving on. We are going to go ahead and make our first if statement. So I'll explain this in a sec. If sender instance of player, then player equals player sender semicolon. Okay, I'll explain this. So first of all, we have to import player. So if our sender, so if the person sending the command is a player, then the player named player, that's what we're going to be calling him, equals our sender. So our player is our sender. That's all we're saying. Oh, and by the way, right before our second last bracket here, we have to write return true semicolon, and that will fix our error on the first one. That's pretty easy. And let's go ahead and move on to our first command. So we go ahead and put if command dot get name dot equals ignore case, and then we have to put quotations and put our command name. So we're gonna go ahead and say our command is hello, like that. So if the player, so equals ignore case means that it's okay if they type it in all capitals, some capitals, that's all right. If it equals hello, then squiggly bracket. And yeah, we can include permissions in this. So if player, so if our player dot has permission, then we are going to put quotation marks and put hello dot hello. So if our player has the permission hello dot hello, then we have to put another if statement, so squiggly bracket. So then if our command is hello, what we are going to do is we are going to player dot, so we can do all of these to the player. You can do so much to the player, it is ridiculous. So we're going to go ahead and player dot send method. We're just going to do an easy one, and we're going to send a message. Actually, we can use chat color for this. So if the command is hello and our player has permission, then we're going to send a message that is in chat color dot aqua. So we'll send in aqua plus quotation hello. So it'll send hello back to you in aqua when you type that. So put a semicolon here, that'll finish our statement. So I'm just going to go through this one more time. So if our sender is a player and our player is a sender, and if the command says hello, and if the player has the permission, we will get a message sent to them that says in aqua hello. So that is pretty darn simple, and I think we can just add one more thing. So we're going to see where our permission argument ends. So we're going to click on this bracket here, and we can see that it ends right over here. So we're going to go ahead after that and put else. So if the player does not have permission, so if the player has permission, else, the else is going to player dot send message. So if you don't have permission, I'm just going to put my semicolon here so I don't forget. Chat color dot dark underscore red plus you do not have permission. Just like that. Oh, not like just like that, like that. So in dark red it's going to say you do not have permission if you don't have the permission. So that is pretty darn simple, and yeah, we can that's pretty much our whole plugin for now. Yeah, that's pretty easy, and we don't really need to add anything else for now except our plugin.yml. So I'll explain this right now. So we have to add something that will make our server read the plugin. So if we put this right now on our server, if we exported this would not work. So we're going to go ahead and right click our thing, our plugin, our Java project, and we're going to make a new file. We're going to call it plugin.yml, or you could call it .yaml, but that's okay. We're just going to keep it .yml because that'll keep it simple. And I'm just going to go ahead and go somewhere else and copy a default one, and then I'll be right back and paste it here just so I can show you. Okay, sorry about that, guys, and we are back again with our default plugin.yml here. This will be in a paste bin just right on our description, so it should be pretty easy to find if you want to copy and paste it. So as our name, so for this we're gonna just fill out this form kind of and set up our plugin. So our name is gonna be Hello World. That's what we are calling our plugin. Our version is 1, or you can put 1.0 if you want to. That's what I'll do just to show that it works. Main. So for this one, what you gotta do is you gotta put what you put for your package. So me.joe.hello world, and the capitalization has to be exactly correct. So I didn't use any capitals for that reason, just to make it easier, except for on the main. So now we have to put dot, and then whatever you called your class. You could have called it something else, but I called it main with a capital M, so I'm going to put that there as our main class. And now author, I'll just put Joe, or I could put Joe the Bull, but I'll just put Joe for now. Description adds hello. And for our commands, we go ahead and take out that whole command thing and put hello as our command, and description says hello. And I'll just show you what the description does in a second. I'll show you how to add aliases, like when you could do a short form for the command. So like instead of hello, we put aliases, just like that. Now we put space, and you can put 2 square brackets and hello. No, we'll make it HL. So you can also type HLO to also get the hello message. So that there's our alias for the command. So let's go ahead and we got it now. So all we have to do is refresh everything. So you can either right click it and press refresh for everything, or you can click on it then press F5, which I find the fastest. So I'm going to do that for all of them. Click on them and press F5. Then I'm going to right click the Java project, export it as Java, as a jar file. In here we're going to keep all these checked off, and we're going to press browse, and we're going to find our test server wherever you made your server. I'm going to save it in plugins, and we are just going to call it hello world. So we called our .jar hello world. That's pretty easy, and there we go. So we have all that all selected, and we just need to press finish, and that should have done it correctly. And now cancel that. There we go. There's our default one. We can go ahead back into here and go into our test server and go ahead and run the server. So here's our test server. I'm going to go ahead and start up Minecraft, and just I'll give my Minecraft a sec to load up. Sorry about that. And I have opted myself, so this should hopefully work successfully. And so as you can see on here, it says hello world enabled successfully, because if you remember over in the coding, if it would load, you put on enable, it will say enabled successfully. So that showed up, and now we have our Minecraft open. I'm going to go ahead and make that full screen for you guys. And if we go on to our server, our test server here, our local host, and just log in. There we go, so we're on our server. Sorry about the little bit of lag here. And now all we have to do is type /hello, just like we did on our code. And there we go, it says hello back in Aqua, just like we put. And this is because we're opt, so if we de-opt Joe the Bull, now we don't have the permission to do this. But now let's try to do it again. So we don't have the permission, we do /hello, you do not have permission, just like that bright red message that we typed in before. Sorry, dark red actually, if you want to use the code format. So, don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed. I hope I was simple enough about it. If you want me to explain other things or do a tutorial on another part of Java, I'm going to do some more, but if you have any suggestions, oh, village, that's cool. Just let me know in the comments, and yeah, so we'll see you all next time. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to leave